here we go. So we're gonna do something slightly differently. We put the camera over here, and then I put my phone over here. Typically the camera's on the side, and then I look into my phone. We're changing it up today, partly due to this book. So today we're gonna be discussing the 4 agreements. Oh, that's why I put the camera over there, because the audio, you're not gonna be able to hear me now. That's actually very interesting. I wonder if that's gonna be a problem. Let's cut. All right, all I can really do to solve said problem is to move the camera closer. Now it looks weird. I look orange, but that is gonna be the lecture today. So here we go. So you might be wondering, Tark, why haven't we done a lecture in, this is like 2 weeks. 2 weeks since we last posted a video. What the are you doing? Delaying. And you know what? We're gonna start with the last agreement of this book. Now, if you open the cover, it'll say the 4 agreements right here. And the last one is do your best. Always do your best. Always do your best. Your best is gonna change from moment to moment. It'll be different when you're healthy as opposed to sick. Under any circumstance, simply do your best, and you will avoid self-judgment, self-abuse, and regret. Now, that being said, I wanted to give you guys, for the first part of this lecture, an inside look on the latest and the greatest with me. And the reason is because if the whole point of the university is for you to take the gold from the books and apply it into your life, apply the actionables, apply the knowledge, we must find the book through the potion. Not just read for the sake of reading, not just, what do you call it, personal development porn, if you will. We're not doing that. So what I've been doing these past few weeks, which has been incredibly burning outingly myself, in terms of it's been so much work that I'm trying to do all at once. If it was just doing this university, doing these lectures like I did 2 years ago when I introduced Ratlife University for the first time, it would be very easy. If I was able to get 9 hours of sleep, living with my sister, getting the best kind of cooking, being able to sleep for, like I said, 9 hours with a nap, do my cardio, go to the gym, have the incredible quality food, and my only task was to do these lectures. Imagine that. My only task was to do the reading and the lesson planning and these beautiful lectures and then the video editing after, which I didn't have a computer at the time, so I didn't even have to do that. And the quality of the videos were the best because that was the only thing I was doing. I was doing it because I loved to do it, and it came out in the videos themselves. You could see the joy and the excitement and the passion, because I wasn't doing it for any person watching it on the other end. I was just doing it for myself because it was just what I really wanted to do, just like this university now. But this is one thing that I'm doing, right? Which is Ratlife's foundation is this university. But I'm simultaneously working a job, right? Working a 9 to 5, working the Ratlife, right? Planning the escape from it in real time. I'm simultaneously doing a class that I have 2 more sessions in, and the reason that I'm doing it, it's a startup entrepreneurship program, like class, and at the end of it you can apply for a micro grant between $1,000 and $5,000 that I'm going to use to offset debt and to offset the purchases that I'm going to make preliminary for the business of Ratlife itself. So I'm going to do an S Corp. So I'm going to do the S Corp, I'm going to get an LLC after that, and then I'm going to register my DBA, doing business as, and then get the website, get the hosting for it, the domain, and the hosting, right? So that is also happening in real time. Tark, what else are you doing? And this isn't to make excuses, but I just want to give you guys the application portion of the lecture. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if I'm doing the teachings and I'm doing the lecturings, but I want to show you guys that I'm applying it in real time. And I shared this with someone the other day. The coolest part about the university is that we're going to be able to track our achievements by book. So it's going to be like, by book 17, we were able to get a 6-figure job, which is another thing that I'm working on right now, presently. By book 100, we were able to quit our 9 to 5. We were able to escape the rat life, right? By book 300, we were able to become a millionaire. By book whatever. And that's the coolest thing, because while anyone enrolled in the university might not elicit the exact outcome. We can prove the merit of the university through personal achievement. There's a really good quote by Kobe Bryant in an interview when Lewis Howes asked him, "What's your definition of greatness?" And he said, "I think my definition of greatness is your work inspiring the person next to you to believe in their goals and to pursue their dreams." So to put that into perspective, your work ethic and your grind and consistency and discipline and passionate work output on your craft, inspiring the person next to you to pursue their goals, even if it's completely unrelated to your own and your own, whatever it is your arena is. But that person is like, damn, if they can do that, if they can apply that much heart, work ethic, discipline, patience, perseverance, failure, overcoming it, how to be alone, and then transcend that into their business, into their relationships, why can't I? Especially if you see someone who has a similar backstory as you or who's had it worse than you. If they can do it, I can do it, right? It's a sentiment. So we have the 9-to-5 job that I'm currently working. If it was just that easy, Ratlife University, if it was just that easy, the class that I'm doing to secure the micro grant, if it was just that easy, if it was just that, child's play, no problem. Also working to get a 6-figure job presently. I'm in limbo, so I just interviewed for one a couple days ago, and they're on a merit system, so based on the ranking that I get, we'll decide if I get invited to the final interview, which would be really cool because I want to announce that. That would be so exciting to announce going into semester 2. And that was something that I forgot to mention at the start of this video. This is the last lecture of semester 1, the last one in the university. So the first semester it starts with belief, and it's the premise of Ratlife. Ratlife is anyone can escape. It starts with belief and the courage to pursue. Ratlife, we're all gonna make it. And I love that idea because there's a good quote by Greg Play. He says, "You have to believe in yourself enough to be the person now that others will remember you for later." It means you have to believe in the after before you even embark on the journey, because it's that hard. And you have to have the most amount of belief to tap into the most amount of your potential, so you'll take enough action to garner some results that'll then re-solidify your belief. It's possible, we can all make it. I'm going in the right direction. I can escape the rat life. I can get a 6-figure job or a 7-figure job or my dream relationship or my dream physique, whatever it is to you, whatever escaping your rat life is. And for me, escaping the rat life is freedom forever, man. It's never having another motherfucker tell me what I can or can't do, where I can or can't go, what time vacation I can or can't take off, the loved ones I can or can't see, who I can or cannot be, right? When I have one life. There's no fucking world where I'm living my one life in perpetual slavery. People think it's risky pursuing entrepreneurship or a business or quitting your job or traveling. The greater risk is when you know you're gonna die and you choose to forfeit action and forfeit pursuit. And you live in a constant state of paralysis by fear, right? Fear of what your peers think, fear of what your coworkers think, fear of what your family thinks, fear of what some girl or guy thinks. And as a result, you don't take any action and you'll blame it on them, but then realize that they don't care about you. They're worried about themselves. There's a good quote and it says, when I was in my 20s, I cared what everyone thought about me. When I was in my 40s, I stopped caring. When I was in my 60s, I realized no one was thinking about me at all. And so you're gonna get to that stage where you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and you're like, wait, nobody actually gives a fuck about me. And yet I chose to forfeit because I was scared of what people thought about me when they weren't even thinking about me at all. And so then you have to look at yourself in the mirror with the real pain, which isn't failure, it's regret, right? It's the wonder of what if. It's the agony of who could I have been? What could I have created? What could I have achieved? What could be my impact? Whose lives could I have saved, right? Had I had the courage to try. So today's a much more relaxed lecture. I just had a grueling leg workout and then I'm so not, I'm so relaxed that it's gonna be a good day. And you can see these bags under my eyes because I took nearly 2 scoops of pre-workout and then I did a very heavy, like I said, leg day. But I wanted to start this lecture off today with giving you guys the perspective on what I'm applying in terms of the actionables in real time. The last of these actionables is always do your best. Always do your best. So for me, I'm not going to berate myself for missing the lectures the weeks that I missed it in semester 1. The original goal was to do 1 book a week. So semester 1 should have ended with 12 books. And then when I took time off of work using my vacation days, I was going to do two books a week, right? Because I wanted to condense the amount of books in a shorter amount of time. But then when you actually apply what you're reading in the books of the university, there's a good quote that I constantly reference. I even wrote it down today, or yesterday, I think it was today though, from Acres of Diamonds by Russell Conwell, one of the books in the university of this semester. And it said, "Let patience have her perfect work." And I've said that in a prior lecture before, when I was lecturing on Acres of Diamonds. And doing and consuming 2 books a week while it is possible, no problem. The absorption of it, harder. The application and understanding of what's the content of the book. You know, I know people who say I've read these many books or I've done this, but then you look at their actual life and you say, yeah, you've read them, but have you applied them? In this, I think it's How to Win Friends and Influence People, or it's The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. There's a really good line, or it's one of Jim Rohn's books. And it says, knowledge isn't necessarily learning something new. It's behaving in a way that we haven't before. So you could know something conceptually, but not be applying it. And so you don't know shit. You know what I'm saying? Knowledge unapplied is useless, is worthless. So you could have all the book smarts in the world, but if you've never been in the arena, if you've never been in the street, you know what I'm saying? Like, then it's all bullshit. I've met the, certified personal trainer who's fat as fuck, and so it's like, yes, I understand you know all the anatomy and all the words, but you haven't applied anything that you've learned. So you have no moral authority. Zero, right? The one whose face, it's a quote by Theodore Roosevelt in Man in the Arena, says, "The credit is owed not to the critic, but the man in the arena, whose face is marred with dust and sweat, tears, I think, and blood, who errs, who strives valiantly, who, if he fails, at least his place will never be with those cold and timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat." And that's what the critic is, man. The ones who are the spectators, you know what I'm saying? The ones who war game it all day. The ones who are too afraid to even try. When I look back at 2023 and the amount of failure, I would be happy to reiterate it in this video and at the start of my lecture. Man, 2023 started with me working at Amazon on a graveyard shift because no one would give me an interview to get back to the 9-to-5 that I was trying to get to pay off the debt that I amassed from Ratlife by starting a business on a credit card. That's how my 2023 started, right? And I was living in a closet. I was paying for as little as possible as I could for rent, but still paying rent, $600 a month to live in a Harry Potter closet. And then I sold my car to go travel to Europe prior, so I was taking the bus, trying to keep my overhead expenses as low as possible. So we got the bus, we're living in a Harry Potter closet, we're working a minimum wage job. I would go to Brazil in February and get jumped. I would then have no job because, I stopped working at Amazon. They don't give you real time off. And then I would take my mom to Europe with money I did not have, so to drown more and more in debt. Rock bottom for me was when I was at EDC, and then I would use money that I didn't have, that I got from my sister, to pay for food, to pay for drugs, to go to a festival, EDC in Las Vegas, surrounded by alcoholics and drug addicts and fucking losers that I deemed my friends. And then I would leave that festival I didn't have the money for the bus fare to get back to my hostel that I was staying at in a fucking multi-person bedroom in Santa Ana that had cockroaches in it. I had a prostitute living next door. I was surrounded by drug addicts and alcoholics. And I remember rock bottom at EDC, and then when I came back and didn't have the money to literally get back home, I slept at work underneath my desk overnight at the school that I was working at. And then I was in my kitchen, I remember it, when the cockroaches were coming out of the sink. And I said, and then there was when I got off the bus another day and I was walking on the fucking street, with the prostitutes walking by, and I just remember thinking to myself, this isn't cute anymore. I said, I'm so fucking over this. I'm so over being broke. I'm so sick of this. And I remember doing my dishes with cockroaches coming out of the sink in that place, that shithole that I was staying at. When I had my room, I upgraded from the multi-person bedroom to my private room with a prostitute next door. That was the upgrade. And while the cockroaches were coming out, I said, "This is your fault." And I just nodded like this. I was like, "This is your fault." Yeah. But you know what? What's to come? That's your fault too. And then I made that decision, man. I said, I'm so fucking over this. And I was willing to do whatever it takes, whatever the fuck it takes to escape the rat life. So for me, I was like, if I continue down this path, I'm going to be like these people. I'm going to be a drug addict. I'm going to be an alcoholic. I'm going to be a fucking loser, which I was. I was a fucking bum. I was surrounded by bums. You're the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. What do you think you're going to become as a result? And it's like, I'm the most intelligent. I was, up until college, I was the smartest person ever in my class. I graduated from UCLA. I'm not dim in the slightest. And that wasn't reflective at all in my circumstances, at all. And it was my fault, completely, utterly, right? I chose the environment, I chose the friends, I chose my actions, and it's so crazy how when that's all you're surrounded by, it becomes normal. Doing drugs with fucking losers becomes normal. Being disgusting and having no pride in your appearance and just being a piece of shit is your normal, because you're not surrounded by anyone to check you. Be like, you're disgusting, and you're surrounded by disgusting people, And so I remember that after that, I was like, I'm the fuck out of here. I would rather live in my car than be surrounded by this. I was like, I need to curate my reality. I need to control my environment. And if I continue down this path, I'll never get out of this debt. So I lived in my car for 93 days, man. 93 days. And that was such a gift. Such a gift. Being homeless for 93 days. And we're still in my 2023. I move into this apartment after getting a job that it was the one that I currently have that I'm working to get to the next level. Going from the minimum wage at Amazon to that school district job, it was a 10-month gig, so on a yearly basis, 37 grand salary. Got the job I have now, so the salary doubled to 73K, and then I was able to pay off like almost $9,000 to my brother for the Ratlife debt, and then I was able to get this apartment, and then here I was able to, on the first night, I was like, let's celebrate, and I took way too many mushrooms that I had and overdosed, almost died. It was the closest I've ever been to dying. And I christened my apartment by throwing up in every sink or toilet. So I threw up in my kitchen sink, I threw up in my bathroom sink, and I threw up in my bathroom toilet. That was my first day moving into this apartment. And then I was like, it's as if God was saying, are you done yet? Right? Are you fucking done? And then I've been working. I haven't wasted a single week. I've wasted days in 2024, but I haven't wasted a single week. And that's to bring it full circle back to this book, always do your best. So I would berate myself in terms of, my output and my effort and my past actions and, the mistakes that I've made and the friends that I chose to befriend and all of these things. And I'm just like, no longer, right? And the cool part is, and it's a quote by Jim Rohn, who was like, from 25 to, he was a bum and he was a loser. And his rock bottom, Jim Rohn, was when he was so behind on his promises that he didn't have like the $2 to give a Girl Scout cookies when she came to his door. I remember being in a very similar situation when I was at this flea bag laundromat in, I forget the city. It's where Knott meets La Palma, so maybe that's Anaheim? I don't know. And while the fleas were nipping at my ankles, a girl came up to me, a Mexican girl, to sell me some, I think it was Girl Scout cookies as well. And I had to have had like just like $1.50 in my pocket. And I said, sorry, I don't have any money. And then I just needed a couple quarters to do the laundry. And then I was able to give her the last $1 that I had. And then I didn't want any for her candy or chocolate. So I was just like, here, you can have it. But it's interesting how your failure and your neglect and your procrastination on your goals and your grind and your ascent it's you neglecting to remember the other people in your life that you could positively affect. You could positively improve their life. I saw a really good video about it the other day where it said your neglect. It said don't. I don't know what word they used. They said don't. Discount the effect your procrastination has on the people in your life that you care about. As in, you leveling up, you working harder could benefit so many other people's lives. Jordan Peterson said it in a Tom Bilyeu interview that I was able to watch a clip of, and said, how do you change the world? And he said, you become your best self, because when you are at your best, you are a net positive to every person around you, every single person in your circle of influence. And so he said, what is that at its peak? It's everyone at their best. And so what's the result? The world is a better place, right? So it comes down to the individual. But the reason that I'm trying to bring all this up is the best part of the last agreement in this book is do your best. And someone who holds themselves to a very high standard, contrary to if you were to look at how my 2023 was, it's very, very easy to shit on yourself. It's very easy to look at all the failure and look at all the flaws and look at all the mistakes and look at all the shortcomings and look at all the neglects and look at all the words and promises not kept. It's very easy to go down that rabbit hole, right? But sometimes I'll just sit in my bed, which is a California king. In December, I was living in my car, and I'll just think of how far I've come, and it's the juxtaposition is the greatest gift. And I know no one shows their before in their journey. No one likes to show themselves as less than, but the coolest part about your story is the failure. Like, that's what makes it a good story, is the perseverance, dude, you were living in your fucking car, not December, January, February, March, not 4 months ago. And you possibly are one interview away from a 6-figure job. It's just, it's very, very interesting in the sense of the juxtaposition of where you were, of where you can be, as long as you decide to change your story. To bring it back to Jim Rohn with not from being behind on his promises, he said the last 6 years don't have to be like the next 6. Or the next 6 don't have to be like the last 6, rather. And I feel the same way. It's like my journey up until 28 doesn't have to be what, the next decade is going to be. And with the trajectory I'm on, it's quite evident that it's not, And it starts with, number one, you taking full ownership of your life, first and foremost. And then let's talk about the agreements. Let's start the lecture. So the 4 agreements are as follows. Be impeccable with your word, which we'll get into. Don't take anything personally, which I'm going to give you some really cool personal stories for that. Don't make assumptions. Always do your best. Those are the 4 agreements. This is an incredible, incredible book. Would highly, highly recommend it. So I wanted to share with you a quote from the book that I thought was really cool. The limit of your self-abuse is exactly the limit you will tolerate from someone else. If someone abuses you a little more than you abuse yourself, you'll probably walk away from that person. But if someone abuses you a little less than you abuse yourself, you will probably stay in the relationship and tolerate it endlessly. And that was a fascinating idea, because I asked myself, I said, how hard do you abuse yourself? And I said, nobody abuses myself more than I do. Nobody shit talks myself better than I do to myself. Nobody can have a worse dialogue to me than myself. And nobody does, in the sense of, if you spoke to me the way that I speak to me sometimes, like when I'm at my lows, you'd get checked. I'd beat the fuck out of you, But it's so interesting, because when you apply that to yourself, ask yourself that question: what level of self-abuse do you do, in terms of the put-downs, in terms of the not saying that you love yourself, in terms of looking at all the flaws, in terms of everything that's reflected in you abusing yourself, the training that you don't do, the gym sessions you don't attend, the garbage that you put into your body. Is someone who puts poison into their body somebody who loves themselves? No. Is somebody who talks shit about themselves to themselves someone who loves themselves? Is that reflective of that? No. Is somebody who gossips and spews poison about other people to other people, is that somebody who loves themselves? No. So when you stack that neglect and poison and venom and weeds in your beautiful, nourished garden, you'll see it add up, man. You'll see those weeds get pretty fucking high. So I thought that was a cool quote. And then, stand guard away at the doorway of your mind is such a recurring theme with be impeccable with your word. And the reason is because there's 3 components to being impeccable with your word. Number 1 is always, your word is iron. Your word is your bond. I still remember all the promises I have not kept, or the promises that I'm behind on. I never forget, because my word means everything to me. That's the first thing. And then this ties in with always do your best. You're not always going to be impeccable with your word in terms of keeping it. And so that's why you grant yourself grace. But the second thing is, in terms of being impeccable with your word, is you only speak loving words, loving thoughts to and about yourself. For example, how much you love yourself and how you feel about yourself are directly proportionate, this is from the book, to the quality and integrity of your word. When you are impeccable with your word, you feel good, happy, and at peace. Your word is your bond. Always keep it. That's the first thing. Only self-love talk. Tell yourself how wonderful and great you are, how much you love yourself. I'm practicing that now. So, and that's why I actually wanted to put the camera forefront. I have so many insecurities, man. My hairline recedes right here, and I really don't like it. So that's why I film on the side. And so I want to get in the habit of seeing myself how I am and to love myself how I am. There's super fucking bright lights here, and so my head is always so shiny, but I've always had like a shiny head. So it's something that I want to pursue in terms of like, I don't know, the creams or whatever, but you can get a very matte forehead very purposefully and deliberately. But my setup right now in my apartment is the only place that I can really film with lighting, and so it's just, imagine like the biggest shine. So again, I'm trying to, there's a beautiful part in the book that said love every part of yourself. Love yourself just the way you are. And that's something I never do. It's something that in the past, up until now, it's I'll be good enough when. I'll be good enough when I look like this, when I have this muscularity, when I have this level of body fat, when I have this size, this strength, you know? And it's an interesting concept to just, no, you're enough now, right? You're perfect the way you are. There is no one who's a better you than you. And so doing these little manipulations of filming the lectures with this camera right in front of me, in this light, sharing with you my insecurities, it's me loving myself and beginning to love myself better. Only self-love talk we talked about, and then only love spoken to and about others. This is so important in terms of stand guard way at the doorway of your mind. I can't go to work without hearing people fucking bitch and moan and gossip about other people and say I'm the T word. I hear it every day. And that's what hell is in this book. He describes it. That poison, that emotional and verbal garbage, that venom. If you just operate on thought and word and deed of nothing but love, you can live in heaven amidst a world of hell. And it's so cool. And I do that at work. And I take precautionary actions. I don't sit with those people at lunch. I stay away from them. If they start talking that garbage, I don't entertain it. I don't feed the trolls. And it's a way of conditioning behavior. What you tolerate is how you teach others how to treat you. If you tolerate gossip, you're teaching the other person that it's okay to share gossip with you. I don't tolerate it. And so they know that they can't have those conversations with me. You set that precedent. And does it mean I don't have friends at work? Correct. Do I want to befriend people who just gossip? No. They are poison. It's just a reflection of their lack thereof, self-love for themselves. So when you see people who are just negative and spew just fucking hatred and just constantly shit on other people, on other random strangers, celebrities, all this, it's just like, I sit there in awe and I'm just like, why don't you talk about goals and passions and fears? And the reason is because they fucking hate themselves. That's it. And they don't want to talk about themselves. They don't want to express their insecurities and their fears because they're pussies at the end of the day. So when you combine all of those, the cowardice, the hatred, The venom, all it is a mirror. It's a reflection of their inner turmoil, their inner hell. So, and this ties into the next thing, dude, don't take it personally. Don't take it personally. Don't take it personally. So, in terms of the impeccability of your word, it ties into the next thing. And we are back. Do you like that? Whoa, shiny. It's identity. When you say, I am impeccable with your word, with my word. I do that today. I said I was going to film today, the lecture. I said I was going to, and I am. I said I was going to finish this book yesterday, and I did. I said I was going to go to the gym and train legs, and I did. And bro, they stack. They stack. Kept promises, small wins stack. And then your confidence goes up, and your self-image goes up. Once you remember your value, you'll be embarrassed of the shit you once settled for. It's super, super cool because I'm realizing it in real time when I go to the gym. And up until this point, I've always had a small man syndrome, in the sense of I don't view myself as the fucking titan that I am. And it's so interesting because I'll see another guy who's a bit taller, and you're just like, whoa, that's a big person. And then I get up to them, and I'm just like, wait, you're smaller than I am. You're shorter than I am. And I'm like, if I view you like that, how do other people view me? And it's so fascinating how when you just remember your value and you stop shitting on yourself, and you invite the idea, even if it's a lie at first, that you have to tell yourself, I'm enough, I'm deserving, I'm worthy. It's interesting how it sort of unlocks exactly what you want, what you're looking for. My biggest block for the longest time has been California, letting go here. Because when you're grinding in the fucking rat life, you're constantly a courtier. You're constantly putting on this stupid mask. You're constantly faking it because your insignificance is in a direct correlation to your freedom to speak. It's a very, very good idea and quote by Andrew Tate, and it's very true. As in, if you were to speak against the bullshit of COVID, you would have lost your job. There, in certain places, including education that I work in, or if you were to work at Amazon or Disney, if you didn't get vaccinated, you would have been fired. And so that is very important in the sense of you understanding that you are not free unless you are financially free. Because unless you have fuck you money, then you have to be that courtier. And that's the importance and the hardship of escaping the rat life, is you have to do all of these games, all of these manipulations, all of these schemes and ploys and plots and schemes in order to get yourself into a position where you don't have to bend the knee to fucking anyone in your one life. You know what I'm saying? And that's the whole point of this, is understanding that freedom is what's on the other side of this, right? This isn't just about you starting a business or becoming an entrepreneur. This is about living your one life free and not as a fucking slave, man. So be impeccable with your word. And I constantly have to correct people at work whenever they say the T word around me. I say, no, you're indefatigable. You're indefatigable. There's nothing more powerful than I am. I am, insert your identity. You will do whatever it takes, you and your mind, to satisfy confirmation bias, to confirm you are what you say you are. People murder other people to validate and confirm this is who I am, right? So when you say I am T, you will create the circumstances and conditions to substantiate that claim. I am indefatigable. It works, self-hypnosis works in the other way. I am strong, I am sexy, I am gorgeous. I am in the active practice of inviting all of those ideas, inviting all of those yeses and uplifting and words of self-words of affirmation. That's my love language that is the most depleted from others. I do not get compliments. Very seldom do I ever get compliments. And so it's a really interesting idea when it's been so long since you've received a genuine uplift or compliments from other people. It's very easy to fall into the trap that you're not all of those amazing, incredible things, right? You take the super gorgeous girl who gets told she's beautiful all the time, becomes hollow. But you take the random or the average guy who never gets complimented, he'll believe it. You know what I'm saying? It's all interesting. It's all observation. Do this and live in heaven in terms of being impeccable with your word. In a world of people doing the opposite and living in a world of hell. Dude, anytime you see people who are just gossiping, who are just bitching, who are just moaning, who are just spewing hate, they're not happy. They fucking hate their lives. They'll put on a mask for social media, they'll put on the smile, they'll flex their life. And the best thing about this book is the idea that, I think it's on the next page, is people use their weekends to escape from their fucking shitty life. And the whole point of Ratlife is to grind and escape from your rat life forever, right? It's not to use the weekends to escape from your shitty life. It's to use the weekends to build a life you never need an escape from. That's escaping the rat life forever. So, really good ideas here. Don't take anything personally is the second thing. And I put several examples. And we're going to share it. I'm going to be an open book. Susanna was the first example. A coworker of mine who tried to pyramid scheme me. And I remember being so upset by it initially. I was just like, what the fuck are you doing? And she was using a script. It was a bunch of bullshit. And it was such an insult to me and to my intelligence to think. And then I took it so personally. I was just like, do you think I'm this retarded that I can't see a script, that I can't see through this bullshit? And playing on my kindness and conflating that with naivety for someone who I worked out with, someone who I had deeper, intimate conversations with, someone who I even shared the idea and the goal and trajectory of Ratlife with, it was insulting. But then I put myself into perspective. I was like, dude, she is a single mother who does not have a provider in her life. So, and this is the beauty about putting yourself in other people's shoes. And it's like, when you have to act as both the woman and the provider, then how can I cast stones and how can I judge someone who's also needing to provide for themselves and their son, right? And then I didn't take it personally at all since then. Like, it was annoying, you know, it was frustrating, it was disheartening, it was insulting. But when I put all of those other things into perspective and actually tried to glean and understand why this person would do this, it's like it became more sensible. And it was just like, yeah, if I was a single mother in the absence of a provider, then I would do this stupid shit probably too. I don't have masculine role models and leadership around me. So this is the fucking result, you know? So, next one, Scott. My mentor wanted to meet with me the other day, and then he pulled a quick one on me in the sense of trying to save me to his Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And again, insulting in the sense of trying to pull a quick one on me. And I thought, you know, he was interested in hearing about Ratlife and interested in this. He didn't give a shit about any of these things. So again, initially, took it personally. When people insult my perspicacity, it is insulting because people consistently conflate my kindness with naivety and obliviousness. And it couldn't be further from the case. I'm a gladiator in the arena. I have unmatched perspicacity. I know the snakery that you're doing. Someone who was quiet and very poised and observant in his adolescence, I am so sharp in picking up cues, in picking up mannerisms, in picking up body, what's the word? When you use your body, whatever. I can see all the things. I can see the difference when you wince your eye and you know, with this, and body language. I'm quite the expert into it. And when people think that I'm just some, you know, naive, oblivious goon, and a Michael Jordan quote, and I took it personally. But then I took it a step further, right? And I said, Tarek, this person, and I don't want to get into religion, and I don't care to, but one thing that has always upset me is the arrogance of Christians. There's no other faith in the world that feels the need that I need to save other people. Not one. Judaism, that's not a thing. Islam, that's not a thing. Any other faith, they don't feel the need, I need to save you. It's quite the arrogant pursuit and the arrogant statement. But then I put myself into his shoes once again. I said, Tarek, if your belief system since you were born was it is my duty, my obligation to try to save everyone that I possibly can from eternal damnation, then wouldn't you feel that is your duty and obligation and responsibility as well? Wouldn't you be just as passionate in this belief system if it was your belief system that you've been harboring for 60 plus years? And I said, fair point, right? So then I didn't take it personally after that point. I was just like, all right. And it's interesting because another thing that is unfortunate is I lost all sense of trust with him immediately. Do not trust you at all. And it's so interesting when people shatter trust. You can't remedy that. When you try to pull bullshit onto somebody else or try to sideline them, or is that what it's called? Where they, you're going this way and then boop, they try to do this out of nowhere, then their word means nothing at that point, because and then you ask yourself in real time, like I was during that meeting, I was just like, you don't even care about any of the things that I'm saying, because that is your motive. That is your end goal. All of this is just a sales pitch. All this is trying to build rapport to flank me in battle. And again, disheartening, insulting to my intelligence, but at the same time, I don't take it personally. And it's unfortunate because that faith in particular seems to be the only one that you can't have the discord with, in terms of them wanting to be in a position to understand and glean insight into anyone that has a belief system differing from theirs. And anytime that I try to invite the ideas prevalent in the Muslim faith or any other faith, it's instantly dismissed by Christians. And there's just a sheer level of arrogance in that faith that is just, it's incredibly not enticing to be a part of in the slightest. But again, I don't take it personally. These are my beliefs, and those are their beliefs. So we move on. Women I love / pursued blocked me. And this is under the umbrella of don't take it personally. So over the past few weeks, while I'm continuing on my trajectory, my path, and literally just focusing on myself, I was getting blocked on an almost daily basis from women that I either loved, or women that I tried to pursue, or women that I really liked, whatever. And it was like, blocked by this person, blocked by this person, blocked on WhatsApp by this person. And I was just like, all I'm doing is giving love, is liking posts of people's. If you're a friend of mine, if I follow you, you'll see me like your story, you'll see me this, because it's so interesting when people watch every single thing that you do and yet never comment, never like, never hype you up, never fucking give any sort of recognition. The level of people viewing life in a state of lack, and it's a zero-sum game, as in, I can't hype this person up because it means that I'm losing in some fashion, and again, this ties into the next thing, which is don't make assumptions. And so I tried again to put myself in all of these people's shoes. One person kept liking my stories and I completely ignored her. And the reason was because she chose another guy over me. And this is so important in terms of any man watching this, and understanding that your value comes later. And so all the women who are disregarding you right now in your journey is women age like milk. And it sounds really shitty to say, but women have 10 years of their peak beauty and their peak attention. And there's data on this in dating apps. Guys begin their journey at 30. Do you know what I'm saying? Because men's value is in your character. That, like a video game, you have no stats. You have no strength, you have no intellect, you have no money, you have no status, you have nothing. All your stats are zero until you finally get to your late 20s, and then you begin to ascend. Women are given all their value at the front. 18 years old, 19 years old, 20 years old, haven't done shit. Haven't done anything, and every single guy in the world wants you. And so what's fascinating is just observing it in real time. Beautiful women have no accountability. Zero. They can be idiots, they can be manipulative, they can be these sirens and snakes, And because there's other guys who want to get laid, they'll tolerate and validate their bullshit. If more guys called girls out, and if we all as a team decided we're not going to tolerate bullshit, then all of women would behave, would be correct, would be modest, the OnlyFans shit would go out the window if all guys and all men took a stance against it. But the fact is, there's so many guys so desperate to get their little hot dog touched that I even saw it the other day with one of my coworkers who, she ignored a guy's text for over a week and then replied, and she was like, she made up some excuse, and then he did exactly what I did when I was younger to one of these girls who actually blocked me, and he said it's okay, and I said, you already lost the game. Women cannot respect guys who tolerate disrespect. If a girl takes a week to reply to you with some bullshit excuse, you call it out. You don't call it out, they're giving you an opportunity to not tolerate the disrespect. And so you have to learn all these things the hard way. But in terms of not taking anything personally, I did nothing to any of these people in terms of just giving them nothing but love. I even wrote some of them handwritten letters, just nothing but words of praise, love, interest, words of affirmation, recognition, and it's met with getting blocked. And so I asked myself, in terms of not taking it personally, it's like, is God guiding me on this path? Is he needing to close all of these doors to give me what I've always wanted right here by just needing for me to surrender and to let go, right? And it's so beautiful, the idea of letting go and surrendering. Surrendering is not giving up control. It's letting go of everything that's trying its hardest to get out of your life so you can be on that magnetic wave and frequency and vibration to finally allow everything that's trying so hard to come into your life. And so I'm experiencing that and learning all that in real time. But it comes down to the premise of don't take it personally. If you get blocked, it has nothing to do with you. Some girls who block me, dude, it's probably their boyfriend going through their following list. And it's like they see past conversations or interests or whatever, and it's like, who's this sexy, fucking gorgeous, handsome guy that you liked, that you're liking, that because when you, and this is why they don't like a lot of posts, when you like someone's post, it comes up on your followers feed, and then it'll say you like this thing, and it's like, oh, who's this guy? Why is he following? Don't take it personally. It has nothing to do with you. You don't know why they're doing it. A chick blocked me and unblocked me just the other day because I've curated my reality so much that I know exactly how many people I'm following. And so when that number fluctuates, I'm like, wait, I didn't unfollow anyone. Oh wait, I got blocked. Next. All the sadness and drama you have lived in your life was rooted in making assumptions and taking things personally. Don't make assumptions. Don't take things personally. And I underlined this. I said, don't make assumptions. Have the courage to ask questions and have the dialogue and say what it is that you want. I'll give you 2 stories of friends I used to have. Friends. These were my friends. Guy married, multiple children. Too much of a pussy to tell his wife, this is the way it is. And oh my God, dude, the level of cuck I would see this guy do in terms of, I need to be home at this time, or oh, I don't know if I could go here, or I only have 30 minutes today. And I was just like, I said, no wonder you're not happy in your fucking marriage. She is giving you all these opportunities to be a fucking man, and this is how you're acting. It's just, and I was like, this is my friend. A girl, lesbian, different friend. She was too much of a pussy to tell her partner that she wanted to have an open relationship. And I always do this. I always do a 180 because I'm like, if there's anyone in this life that you should be the most confident and comfortable telling them how you feel or what you want, if not your partner, then who? Who the fuck? If not the person you're in a relationship with, if you don't feel confident to tell them what you want and what makes you happy and what you want to experience in your one life, and if it's not their prerogative to satisfy every fantasy and pleasure and ecstasy and euphoria that you have in your one life, why the fuck are they your partner? I don't get it. I don't understand. Explain to me. Cowardice. That's all it is, dude. They're people who were my friends who are pussies. And so don't make assumptions. Have the courage to ask questions and have the dialogue. Have the conversations you're afraid to have with the very fucking people you're in a relationship with. What are we talking about? It's crazy. It's crazy. You're gonna die. If you want to have a fucking threesome, if you want to go sleep with this other person because you think that's what's gonna make you happy, have the balls to tell your fucking partner. What are you talking about? There's no pussies in this university. This is wild, guys. I don't tolerate it. But I did. Those were my friends. I tolerated it. No longer. Always do your best. It's the last of the 4 agreements. So what do we have? Be impeccable with your word. Number 1. Don't make assumptions. Number 2. Don't take anything personally. Number 3. And the second and third, it's not in that order, but same thing. Always do your best. Because there's going to be days where you're not impeccable with your word, where you entertain gossip, where you don't keep your word, where you don't compliment and hype yourself. There are going to be days where you make assumptions. Oh, this is why this person blocked me. This is why they said no to go on a date with me. This is why I didn't get this job. Don't internalize it. Don't have your confidence be diminished by rejection. There's a beautiful video by a woman, a little girl, like 4 years old, 3 years old, and she's like, when you get what you want, it's God's direction. When you don't get what you want, it's God's protection, right? Don't make assumptions. What if you not getting the thing that you wanted or the thing that you thought that you wanted was the best thing to ever happen to you? What if had you gone on that bus or that Uber, you would have gotten murdered? You don't know that, right? You don't know if you not going there or if that not working out was the best thing that ever fucking happened to you. What if you, this person that you really wanted to sleep with gave you chlamydia? I don't know. What if everything in your life that even the bad is happening for you? For God, the universe, to give you exactly what you say that you want. And the third thing, right? I said don't make assumptions, don't take it personally. There are going to be some days where you take it personally. I took it personally with Susanna. I took it personally with Scott. I took it personally with these women who blocked me. And then I didn't. And then I just let go. I was like, if you don't like me for me, if you want to block me, if you want it to not be a part of my life, then go, right? The door's open. You can come in, you can leave, you can get the fuck out of here. I'm not going to chase you, right? And I'm not going to pretend to be somebody who I'm not for anybody. This is me. Next. Always do your best. People and what they do on their weekends, they try to escape. That was actually a beautiful line, and I'm so glad it said it in this book, that people hate their fucking life. They don't like the woman that they're with or the guy that they're with. They don't like their job. They don't like their boss. They don't like the car that they drive. They don't like where they live. And they have no respect, no status, no significance. And so what do they do on their weekends is they piss away their money. They drink, they do drugs to get away from their shit life, to just breathe for a fucking day. And don't get me wrong, dude, I've been guilty of that. And it gets to the point where you can't even enjoy the indulgence because you haven't earned it. And so when you're just drinking or doing drugs, anything that's an indulgence, nothing that's harmful in and of itself in small, what do you call it? Where you take a small piece of the cake, you know the word, it's at the tip of my tongue. Anything in small portions, I don't know the word right now, harmless, right? But when you're using that to just to forego action to save yourself, all you're doing is perpetuating your slavery. And so a big premise of this book in terms of achieving personal freedom is just looking at yourself in the mirror, man, and saying, dude, my life fucking sucks. Depression is a choice. Depression is your body saying, I'm so fucking sick of playing this shitty character that you keep insisting that I play, right? When you are in alignment with who you are, when you start to feel that authenticity coming up, which I feel right now just making this video, it could be a combination of the exhaustion that I exerted myself in my training today, but I think it's just showing you guys my insecurities, showing you guys my failures, showing you guys my flaws, and not filming this for any particular person. And you get to see the real person on the other end. But when it comes down to people and escaping their rat life, is they don't have the courage to say, this is my fault. They don't have the courage to say, the life that I'm living now is the delay, the lag of my decisions of my past. Women who I know who are in their 30s, the vast majority of them, who are still single and childless, it's the consequences of their youth. Guys who are broke in their 30s and their 40s, it's a consequence of their decisions and actions in years past, right? You are the culmination of all of your choices, of all of your decisions up until this point. You're exactly where you deserve to be. Deserve to be. I deserve to be fucking homeless, dude, living in my car. Deserved it. I deserve the cockroaches. I deserve the prostitute next door. I deserve the drug addict and alcoholic and fucking loser cuck friends, right? Deserved it because I was willing, that was my standard. That's what I was willing to tolerate. Deserved it. Do you understand? So what I've been doing relentlessly, maniacally, since the start of 2024, when I made that promise I'm going to be the fucking standard, is, and so important why I'm sharing with you guys in this lecture, everything that I'm doing to escape, is I'm applying all the actionables in real time, thus the delay from me not doing all the books that I wanted to do. It's like, I'm doing everything that I'm trying to do to, number one, apply the actionables from all of the university lectures, all the books, and then to prove the credo and the premise of Ratlife is that anyone can escape. Freedom is not special or only privy to the rare few. Anyone can escape their rat life. Anyone can achieve financial freedom. Anyone can travel the world, have their dream physique. Fucking anyone can close the gap of who they are and the potential of who they can be. Anyone can be better. Anyone can escape. Anyone can make it. You don't actually make it. You die in the pursuit of your potential. Because once you climb a new mountain, then you can now see farther, right? Once you can confirm your potential, then you confirm that you have more potential. Do you understand? Once you get to this mountain and you validate your ability, then you unlock new potential. So you never make it. Sorry to burst your bubble when I say we're all going to make it. You make it when you die. Next. Always do your best. One of the old homework assignments I gave you was to remove the phrase good enough from your vocabulary. Anytime you're going to shortcut it, anytime you're cleaning, anytime you're at work, you never say good enough, right? That's the epitome of always doing your best. Not doing your best is neglect. Not doing your best is saying shit like good enough. Fuck that. Always do your best. And your best will differ, dude. Some days your best is 12 out of 10. Some days your best is just going through the fucking motions, man. You have to have shitty days, right? There's no good without the bad. There's no light without the dark, right? You're gonna have the bad days. You need those to solidify that character, right? All right. Next, by doing your best, the habits of misusing your word, taking things personally, and making assumptions will become weaker and less frequent with time. So good. Such a good quote. I'm going to say that again so I learn it. By doing your best, the habits of misusing your word, so the antithesis of being impeccable with your word, taking things personally, like I was doing initially, making assumptions, like we all do, will become weaker and less frequent with time. So that habit of everything, of failing with all the agreements, of making assumptions, of not being impeccable with your word, misusing your word, and of taking things personally, you being conscientious of it, cognizant of it, your abuse of those agreements and you breaking those agreements will diminish over time through practice and repetition. Nice. All right, we said that well. Next. And this is it, guys. This is the last one. The last one. You ready? If you cannot keep these agreements, know and be happy with the fact that you're doing your best. Don't judge yourself. Don't feel guilty. Don't punish yourself. And I have to do this in real time right now. Like, because I hold myself to a high standard, because I'm trying to accomplish all these things at the same time, because I'm also combating sleep deprivation, and I'm trying, another thing, I'm also doing a prep. I'm also doing Escape 2024. So that's the training, that's the dieting, that's the trying to sleep, that's the cardio. And so, like I said, if it was just one thing, this whole journey would be so easy. But the fact that we're trying to do all these things, and you have to, And you have to. That's the whole point, dude, of the university and to sharing with you all the actionables from the gold. It's reading this does nothing. Extracting the actionables and applying the actionables, that is where the compounding effect comes from. And so while I'm saying do this, do this, do this, if you think I'm not working all of my free time to escape my rat life, to level up, to become the provider that I said I want to become in 2024 for my woman, for my team, you're mistaken. And your best is good enough. What a concept. Next. This is the last page. We need to be aware that we are not free in order to be free. It's an idea that he discusses in this book, and I put a glass bowl prison, as in, there's a quote from Andrew Tate, the best prison is the one you don't know you're in. It's a glass bowl. If you've ever seen the movie The Truman Show, where he goes to the edge of, the world, and then the boat crashes into the end of the set, and you just realize, oh, this is all bullshit. That's exactly the rat life that you live right now. When you work a 9-to-5 job for pieces of paper that the Federal Reserve can print infinite number of, they can press a button on their printer and print money, right, out of thin air, that you trade your life for, that you spend 40 years for the fucking crumbs. You're a slave. You're a slave. The things that you're saving, the little pennies that you're saving in your bank account, when they print money, the value of your dollar goes down, inflation goes up, so your $100 that are sitting in the bank are now worth 80. They can steal money from your bank account without ever unlocking it, without ever going into the vault. You add that with the increase in cost of living, where your dollar now is worth less. So your eggs are now $5 like mine were for 18. Your gas, $5-6 per gallon. So now your increase that you get, that little raise that you get every year at work, inflation outpaces. And when they print more money, the value of your dollar goes down. It's like between 4 and 7% reduction in value every year. So when you realize that they have you under the illusion that you're growing, you see this number going up, you see your income going up, and yet you understand we need to be aware that we are not free in order to be free. When you look at your freedom or lack thereof, you're just like, wait a second, I'm a fucking rat. I'm a rat in the maze. I'm a cog in the wheel. I'm a slave in a fish bowl. I have the illusion of freedom. My freedom to speak is directly correlated to my insignificance. Because if I had a platform, if I had influence, you'd find out very quickly you're not free to say what you actually want to say. When they tell you to get this vaccination, when they tell you to wear this mask and you tell them to get fucked, you'll find very quickly that you're not free. When they were able to cherry pick what businesses could and could not be open, who could and could not support and provide for their family, you find out very quickly you are not free. So it's all a privilege they allot to you when it's convenient and they so deem it from them. So you have to understand that you're a fucking slave, period. And if you don't think you are, take 4 weeks off of work. Oh wait, you can't. Go call out just because. Oh no, you can't, right? And then you get bought into the rat race trap. Student loans, which I did. Credit card debt, which I did. Car financing, which I did. The mortgage, I did not do. I finally got caught on. Oh wait, I'm going to get a 6% interest. The rate is higher than that, by the way. Mortgage, 30-year fixed. When you do the math on the lifetime, that's the sticker price. They say, oh, it's $500,000 for this house. And, well, it's on a 6% interest, right? But then when you do the math, you're paying $500,000 in interest in the lifetime of the mortgage. They don't tell you that, though. They don't tell you that $500,000 property is $1 million with $500,000 of it going to interest. That's at a 6% rate. What do you think it is when it's 7 or 8? So you are in a glass bowl, right? You're in a prison that you're unaware of. So the first step to escaping the rat life is understanding you're living the fucking rat life. Then you can begin to plan your escape. When you realize, who the fuck am I living to impress? Who gives a shit what car I have? I want to be free forever. And so your priorities start to change. And then when you start to get momentum, the instant gratification becomes so less desirable. The festivals that I see now, I just see a bunch of fucking losers, surrounded by losers. And don't get me wrong, festivals were super fun. I've been to 3 in my life. 2 of them, some of the best experiences I've ever had in my life. But now I understand the ones who are attending them are escaping from the shitty life they have to go back to. The life that they hate, right? The 9 to 5, the barely making ends meet, the living paycheck to paycheck. I see it all the time. And with traveling, people get 2 weeks, not 2 years, 2 weeks of freedom, traveling the world, posting all of it. And you know what's really changed my perspective is asking myself, would you go to any of these places right now if you did not and could not post about it? You go to Greece, you go to Italy, but you weren't allowed to post about it on social media. It's interesting how you don't really give a shit when you're just like, I really want to go there. Do I really want to go there, or do I just want the clout showing everyone, hey, look at me? And it's very, very interesting when you realize that who are you living for? You know what I'm saying? Are you living for yourself? Are you doing what you actually want to do? Are you just escaping from the life that you hate? And so when you shift your priorities, I start to begin to see, guys, if we just delay the gratification for a year, for 2 years, for 3 years, we could be free forever. Not let's grind a little bit and then travel like I did all throughout my early 20s. I traveled from 23 to 27. So that's 23, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5 years. I've traveled to 32 countries around the world. I've done my selfish living, right? Of not being a provider, of constantly being broke, of drowning in debt. I've done it. And what's interesting now is in terms of stepping into the role of a provider, being a masculine leader, being a role model, right? Having leadership as a man, then priorities start to shift and you start to say that my procrastination on this is my woman that I don't get to make into a housewife as soon as possible. And that could get criticism, I don't care. I want my woman to never have to work another day in her fucking life. And so me procrastinating on me being a provider is the woman who I want still having to work her shit job and submit to another shit man, right? Whose fault is that? Mine. So, and the other thing is, when you, again, zoom out and expand the time horizon, you're just like, wait, if I just do this little grind for 1, 2, 3 years, then my family could be free forever. Every person I've ever loved, every person I've ever cared about, friends, family, lovers, they could be free forever if I close the gap of who I am and the potential of who I can be. If I bring Ratlife and this vision to fruition, right? So then ability to becomes responsibility too, you know? So it's all food for thought. But the last thing that I wanted to say is you have to fight to save your own life. And that's what I'm doing every day. So the reason for a missed lecture or a book not posted 1 week is because Tark's doing Escape 2024, so he's doing his fitness transformation. He's doing his Ratlife job. He's working to escape the Ratlife by getting the 6-figure job and not increasing his cost of living. So then now we have that margin. What that is it's called freedom, right? When your overhead expenses are less than your income. And so when your income increases, you do not increase your lifestyle, which I've always done. Oh, I'll get into a better apartment, I'll get a better car, I'll spend more money, I can buy nicer clothes. No. And I had to whip that out of me. It's just like, no, let's earn more and let's not increase our cost of living. We can tithe more so we can give more money to others. But let's begin to bridge the gap, to save, to invest, to be free forever. So you got to fight to save your own life. We got Escape 2024. We got the Ratlife that I'm working. We have the 6-figure job that I'm trying to get, the micro grant that I'm trying to acquire for Ratlife, LLC, DBA, S Corp, the website, domain and hosting. I'm doing all these things. I'm trying to get out of my credit card debt, which I'm very close to. We're just a couple months away from finally being able to start, just to get to 0. So you have to do all these things while you work your job, man. I'm still going to the gym and doing the job and doing the lectures and doing the reading, and it's me compounding all of the actionables. It's me doing what I'm preaching, right? So the last thing, imagine you love yourself. I wrote this down for myself because when I read this, I was just like, damn, it was very exposing. Imagine you love yourself just the way you are. Sounds silly, but what a concept. So when I look at the mirror, not looking at all the flaws and be like, oh man, this needs to be improved, this needs to be improved, this needs to be improved. But it's like, what if you were just fucking pretty sexy just as you are, right? Yes, we can all improve. Yes, there's always room for growth, but what if you just loved yourself as the way you are? Again, I have to reiterate this for myself, not for anybody watching this. Your body, your emotions, everything. To begin to say, I love me just the way I am. Foreign concept. A lot of the time. I am perfect just the way I am. That's it. So, the actionables for today's lovely lecture are as follows. It's the application. The application of the 4 agreements. Number 1, be impeccable with your word. What does that mean? Your word is iron. Your word is your bond. Always do what you say. Always keep your word to the best of your ability, right? Number 2, tying in with being impeccable with your word, is only speak uplifting, loving thoughts to and about yourself. Love, live in a state of love, of heaven, in a world of hell, mired in fucking venom and poison from other people. Number 3, of being impeccable with your word, do not gossip. Do not gossip. Do not tolerate gossip. Don't entertain it. Don't discuss it. Don't not stand guard way at the doorway of your mind. Don't let the weeds and parasites and venom and verbal garbage of other people seep into your nourished, fertile soil of your garden. Stand guard way at the doorway. When people try to snake you, when people try to sideline you, when people try to do all these manipulations and flanks, and just say to the next thing, don't take it personally. Don't take it personally. It's about them. It's about their lens. It's about their belief system, the agreements they have, not you. Don't take it personally. Number 3, don't make assumptions. You get blocked by people. You get pyramid scheme, attempted to, sell you on a pyramid fucking thing. You get your mentor trying to save you. Don't make assumptions of why they're doing it, of whatever. Try to put yourself into the shoes of the other people. That's beginning to mature, is when you try to actually glean the motives from their shoes. Why are they doing what they're doing? Nobody bothers to ask that. They make assumptions and then they take it personally. And they choose thereby living in a state of hell. But if you try to, ask yourself, why are they doing it? And begin to bridge the gap of compassion. It's like, oh, if I was struggling financially, I'd probably do whatever it took to, be able to provide for my child. Okay. If I was under a belief system that it was my duty and obligation and responsibility to save other people, and I had this person who, like, oh my gosh, he needs to be saved, then I might make that attempt, etc. If I had a boyfriend who, found this person to be a threat, I might ask my girlfriend to block them as well. I don't know. I can't control other people's motives. I'm not going to make assumptions. I'm not going to take it personally. I'm going to be impeccable with my word, and I'm going to always do my best. And that, my friends, is the end of semester 1. 8 books. 8 books of Ratlife University. It starts with belief. That is what Ratlife is. Anyone can escape the rat life. It starts with belief and the courage to pursue. Ratlife, we're all going to make it. Semester 2 is going to be titled, Become Your Villain. And next semester, the first episode will discuss what that means. Till next time, have an amazing day. This is Ratlife University Semester 1, 8 books.